All right, who would like to start?
Any thoughts about the shooting down on Arlington Road yesterday?
Goodness.
Alleged car burglar shot killed. Any thoughts?
Yeah, well, I think it's tragic, the whole situation. And I'm sure that there are lots of, the person who shot, I'm sure is going through lots of feelings. And we have, there have been some car burglaries, and it appears that the person who was shot was responsible for some of them. You guys know how I feel about guns. So it's a tricky situation.
And so how do your feelings about guns play into what happened here?
Well, it really makes me have mixed feelings, actually. I've been very strong proponent for gun laws and getting illegal guns out of the system, and I continue to feel that way. But this gentleman was protecting himself and his family, and I certainly understand the sentiment behind that, and certainly understand the passion behind it. Yeah.
And this guy who was killed,
Was doing something he shouldn't have been doing.
well, and he has a lengthy
Yeah.
Arrest and
Yep.
conviction.
It's very sad all the way around.
Mayor, the Palm Harbor Marriott is, I guess, as of now, is set to go on Monday's agenda. Has it been delayed again?
They asked for continuance till, I think, the first meeting in July 7th or something like that. We just got it yesterday.
Did they give a reason? Still
No.
working with,
They're still working on.
I think it's Waterview, still working with?
Yeah, they're having multiple meetings. I think there was actually a meeting last night with our staff and the Palm Harbor people and the Waterview people. I think they're coming to a compromise that everybody's going to be happy with.
Anything more you want to say about the North Side Initiative? I'm sure you were glad to get $1 million. Well, it's not $1 million, but
Yeah, well, we're really we're focused on really improving Broadway. It's one of my goals. It's the CRA's goal. It's certainly Jeff Green's goal. It's something we want to see happen in the next few years, that we're going to be dealing with a very different Broadway. And I understand the skeptics. I understand people who said, oh, we've heard that before, because they have heard that before. But I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that we see a real difference in that street over the next 3 to 5 years.
What can you do to make people feel comfortable who don't live in that area go? I certainly know that when I go north, I think twice about going up that street. Doesn't stop me from doing it completely, but when you're going up Broadway, you gotta be a little careful.
Really, Broadway's very safe. It really is. We have a lot of police there. We're going to have additional police. It's more the perception of safety. I think probably the biggest crime you see there is prostitution, and we have ongoing prostitution stings there. So unless you're in the market for that, you shouldn't worry. We've put in additional police through our intelligence-led policing, put in additional police on both sides of Broadway as you head north. We've seen significant decrease in crime as a result of that. So I think it's really about the perception. We need to work on changing that perception. And I think once Broadway looks a little different, I think the perception will change.
The article in the Post this morning, there was mention of a desire to get in a grocery store there, which is lacking. What are the sort of stores, businesses coming in there, do you think would help to stabilize it?
Well, there's a couple things. That's a focus for our marine initiative. So we're trying to attract marine related industries, purveyors to the marine industry, people who are involved in the boating and marine industry. So that's one of our target areas to attract those kinds of businesses. Certainly, grocery stores is something that we've been interested in a long time. We just haven't had the demographics to attract a grocery store, but we're going to continue to work on that. I think shops that the neighbors would use, an ice cream shop or something that people in the neighborhood would go. And we really encourage people now. There are some shops there that there's a nice little bakery that we encourage people to use. There is an ice cream store on Broadway. So the more people we get to Broadway, the better. And we're trying to encourage people to use those stores. But certainly the marine industry is one of our targets. Yeah.
What about, anything doing the flea market? The flea market people are arguing that they've bent over backwards to do everything that the city's asked them.
Yeah.
They've done all these things and and they're trying to clean up their act.
We continue to meet with them.
And the neighbors still want them shut down.
I know. It sort of puts us in a difficult position. They have done, flea market people have done a lot. They've taken on all of the list of things that we've given them to do. We have to continue to provide them their due process, and we have to make sure that the neighborhood's safe. So we're looking at every alternative we possibly can look at.
And one of the things the flea market guys have said, and you kind of agreed with it, is that even with all its problems, it's better than an empty building.
Yeah. The last thing I want is an empty building there. Would I prefer to have some different kind of businesses there? Absolutely. And if we can help them to move different businesses into there and help to attract more appropriate businesses, we would do that. And we are doing that. So we're just looking at ways we can make it a viable place for the neighborhood and for the owners as well.
Anything new to report on the P25? I think that's what you guys were meeting.
Yeah. No, we're moving forward. We have bi-weekly meetings with Harris and our police and the consortium, and everything's moving forward.
Where are you with the director of housing authority hire?
Housing department, not the housing authority. Well, right now we don't have a position for a director. We have, what's it called, a manager or supervisor. We're also looking at bringing in a team of people to deal with certain segments of the housing department. I know since, so we're looking for someone to do monitoring. We're looking to someone to oversee the construction, and we're looking for someone to troubleshoot, come in and take a look at what's going on and where are the issues, identify those issues, and let's get them cleaned up. We should have that team together, I would say, in the next 2 weeks. Part of the reason it's slower is because we have to go through an RFP process for the construction people. We have to get 3 quotes. Anytime we use federal money, we have to get at least 3 quotes. So we have to go through the process. But we are going to get this solved. That it just it's gone on too long, and I just need to have the right people in there to make sure that we are doing what we need to do when we need to do it.
Anything else? Okay, thank you.
What would be the first meeting in July?
I think it's the 7th.
What's the first meeting in July?
First Michigan?
I don't know. I'll look. Anything else? No?
Thank you.
You're welcome.